Here was the thing, this video was about to be an entirely different subject. That being, this video was originally going to be about Coffin of Andy and Lele. It was an idea I had planned for months, and like a year ago this game was like controversial, and yada yada, and the developer got harassed and yada yada. And I was kind of ashamed after playing it, the game was really fucking boring. I liked the art of the game, and it was like kind of nice. That's kind of really it. Dialogue is like it came from a fucking AO3 fanfiction. Andrew was fucking bland and boring. And Ashley's also bland and boring, but also wants to fuck her brother. I can't imagine why people remember this game. You'll see some guy's limbs, and a flashback when these two were younger. But by this point, I just stopped caring. I don't care what the fan base that just stay the hell away from their own family members. Or anti-woke grifters who think women having chins in video games is worse than the Jamestown Massacre say. The game is uninteresting and boring. With 30 minutes of my time, I'll never get back. Oh, but Jack Frost, you understand? It's gonna beat out Concord.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So every couple of days, there's another round.
You can survive a 24-hour
This video was originally going to be Shin Megami Tensei 4, but I feel like that might take a while, so fine, I'll settle with him.
A bat credit card? They gave him a bat credit card? They had the balls to give one of the greatest superheroes of all time a bat credit card? No! No! Does not compute! Does not compute! Does not compute! I think so!
Hey kids, you like the Nostalgia Critic? I kinda do. The Nostalgia Critic by Doug Walker was created in 2007 and did something similar with the AVGN. Although unlike the AVGN, he covered movies instead of video games. Just like Nerd, he's still going on today. Although I hope you like skits because they're very prominent, especially ones in the mid-2010s. And also just like Nerd, Doug also has a movie. 3 of them. And they're all before the AVGN movie, so ha. Let's talk about KICKASSIA and I'll talk about the other movies some other time. Do you guys want me to watch 3 hours of the fucking Boldly Flee? No. KICKASSIA was made in 2010, and so there's a bunch of internet critics trying to take over Malassia, which is actually a real place, by the way. We got all our favorite characters here. Nostalgia Critic, Linkara, Nostalgia Chick, Film Brain, Phelus, Angry Joe, and Wario. We don't speak about him. You also get a bunch of nobodies, which we'll talk about that later. Anyways, let's just get this over with. Let's talk about the movie. The movie starts off with the lore of Malassia, of all the trials and tribulations, and all the friends we made along the way. There's also in parts, which I guess this doesn't count as a movie. Anyway, we see the guy who runs Malassia just doing some yoga, I'm assuming. And out of nowhere, Doug Walker from the Nostalgia Critic makes an appearance.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic, online personality, and all-around spectacular guy.
Anyways, the Nostalgia Critic is explaining he's going to take over Malassia. Why? Because the place is small, that's why.
I noticed that you have your own nation here. You must be very proud. But to be fair, it is not very big, and you're not very big. So, let's just cut to the chase here. I am going to invade you. My army is going to take you down, conquer Malassia, and take it as our own. Now, don't get any bright ideas, don't try to fight back or anything like that. My army is quite literally unstoppable, undefeatable, and of course, invincible. Where you are, well, just you.
You know, if a guy that looked like this was saying he was going to take over my country, I'd just be laughing my fucking ass off. Anyways, the Malassia guy pulls a Sigma Chan move and closes the door on him. Very Sigma. So after seeing the epic footage of the nature and stuff, the Nostalgia Critic calls up the gang. The Nostalgia Chick, Phelus for like 5 seconds, Car for like 2 seconds, and Angry Joe, a guy who I kind of forget exists sometimes. Then we got to this lady and I have no idea what the hell is happening. Link makes a cameo. Yeah, this scene takes forever. I hope something interesting comes up after.
It's okay, I booked everybody a hotel room.
Well, gee, I didn't see that one coming.
Okay, that's a little funny. I'm sorry. There's also this thing with Spoonie. I don't fucking know. This looks gay, though.
It's kind of gay, dude.
After we see a guy who clearly didn't want to be here so badly, he just edited himself in. Nostalgia Critic makes an appearance and tells everyone why they're invading Molossia. He just wants to control something for some reason. And then this happens.
People that thought like you, Linkara, and they were called Nazis! They were closed-minded, hate-filled people that just want everything their way. Are you a Nazi, Linkara?
No.
Are you a Nazi, Linkara?
No.
Because I don't want any Nazis around here!
No, I'm not a Nazi! I'm not a Nazi!
If I was a Nazi, I'd be using Twitter. So after this S-tier epic speech got over here, where this happens.
So, this Nostalgia Critic guy says he might be invading our nation. What do you think? I say we keep our defenses high, but not worry too much about it.
Guys, I think he might have schizophrenia. Also, a bunch of internet critics were coming to me and saying they were gonna invade my nation. I just laughed that shit off, but whatever. After that, we get an epic walking scene, which leads to this. Bravo, it's the second funny joke in the movie. It's this film generally has some decent funny moments. It's just overrun how shit likes to just take forever for something to happen. Everyone tries to leave and say it's not worth it. And Doug says, no, this is worth it. And then everyone else is like, yeah, it is worth it. And this happens.
How about a legion of spiders? They're quite small and fit in them as overhead compartments. No, how'd you get in here anyway? Just want to be loved. Get out! Who?
Well, after that just happened, everyone starts to get ready and gear up. So it's kind of funny with all these grown adults with their toy guns and toy swords. It's kind of funny. And then, holy shit, guys, it's part 2 time. Let's go. Spoonie decides to freak out for some reason.
Is everyone preparing for battle?
They are, Spoonie. Good. You know, Spoonie, you would really help the team out if you were to, well, you know.
I don't know why I'm whiling a specific scene. What does it sound like the Nostalgia Critic's voice lines were in post? Well, Spoonie sounds like it was recorded right in the room. I don't know, it's probably just me, but still. Don't know, everyone's actually prepared for battle this time, and the guy's just like, what? I have no idea why the Nostalgia Critic's just like M. Bison from Street Fighter for some reason. And then the epic battle starts. We have explosions and explosions and explosions. Whatever the hell this is. And Carl's crying over the girl with the blue hair. I don't know her name, actually. And then bro just casually brings out a fucking cannon. Starts shooting everybody with it. And nah, bro, who let this guy to the team? He also never appears again. So after bringing out the stool, he starts to climb in and attack. Jew Warrior sees a train and fucking freaks out for some reason. Honestly, I think that train should have just I'd fucking hate him. And then they finally get to the leader of Molossia, and he has the sword that just makes you teleport.
Cock!
And he teleports to this dude and becomes fucking real, dude. That's awesome, bro.
Pretty awesome.
And then he just fucking gives up. Some guy became real so much, just decided to change costumes and just give up. That's pretty funny. So the Nostalgia Critic becomes leader, and this leads to the most boring fucking part of the movie. This fucking interview shit, I don't care. Kinda drags on like most of this movie at times. So after this guy starts touching to feel something real for once, and the sage makes a cameo. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm sorry if I'm skipping through a lot of the scene. It just takes forever. Like, takes 5,000 goddamn years. Guess it does do a decent job of establishing the world, but just kind of drags on. Also, Spoonie, that's gay. Finally cut to the M. Bison Critic, and he's being a bit of a little asshole.
Of the money we have left, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to accomplish nearly what we had in mind.
Quiet! Can't you see I am watching Hogan's Heroes?
But Critic, this is important stuff. We
Silence!
gotta...
I have a new rule! Every day at 4 o'clock p.m. shall be Hogan's Heroes time! Everybody shuts up and watches Hogan's Heroes. All in favor say aye. Aye! Motion passes. Go away.
Fine. But don't come to me when... You know, just don't come to me.
Now the critics being the assholes of the Phalos, who is just pretty entertaining in this movie. I may have not seen a single video from him. He's somehow the most entertaining part about the movie. I love his acting, doesn't sound like he gives a shit.
And I just thought it'd be a good idea if we started charging for tourism, you know, t-shirts, postcards, and such.
Nah, that's stupid.
Oh, okay then.
Wait! I have an idea!
What could that be?
And then the leader comes in and says, "And the Nostalgia Critic is a pretty shitty leader," and the Phalos is like, "Yeah, he's a pretty shitty leader." I like how he just magically makes everybody turn on the Nostalgia Critic just like that. He is also the next most entertaining part about the movie. It's too bad he doesn't appear often. So everyone agrees, yeah, the Nostalgia Critic is a pretty shitty leader. And I always thought they were recording this at nighttime until I saw the curtain and they're fucking doing it at daytime. This isn't a flaw of the movie, I just thought it was funny. And everyone thinks of a plan how to defeat the Nostalgia Critic, aka M. Bison, aka Doug Walker.
I like it.
Shut the fuck up, Jew Warrior. Everyone knows what you did. Even worth the same repeating audio clip. Then, Film Brain is spying on them. And then he tries to fucking assassinate Cinema Snob. Then he's put on trial. And he decides to kick out Cinema Snob. After being an asshole again.
The idea that I have right now requires
Cinema Snob.
there's a cinema snob to enter the realm of everlasting being banished for forever. You are to be banished forever.
Yeah, not knowing how to be a leader, I guess. Then the Cinema Snob gets banished, which is a depressing scene, I'm aware. And Doug is visited by this guy who was important in the second movie. And then he's like, Doug, they're gonna betray you, Doug. Bison Critic just shrugs it off. And the guy with the Captain Planet cosplay never shows up again. Now that Cinema Snob has been banished, fellow critics are fighting to understand what to do now. Everyone gets the idea. Why don't we use Spoonie? And Spoonie decides to freak on. He freaks out. Oh, that freaky shit. He freaks the Pawnee from the Amazing Digital Circus. Then he becomes a mad scientist. Then the Spoonie scientist comes in and does this. I don't know why this shit made me fucking laugh so hard. Hey, it's funny. And they have the most epic battle of the century, where comedic hijinks ensue. And then this happens.
Help me! Santa Christ!
Santa Christ! Santa Christ! We all love.
He kills fucking Santa Christ. This is like worse than 9/11. Holy shit. And it leads to the only drawn out scene in the movie that actually is a little funny. Man, because dog, this shit is not that serious. Also, who the hell are any of you people? And then they just throw him to the fucking dumpster. That's hilarious. And they have one more plan on their sleeve. I guess that they just gave up on that plan. And their final plan is to do a full frontal assault, which is something they should have done in the fucking first place. Also, I hope you hear all this lecture about a board game you'll never play in your life. I will give it props to Cinemassacre, he's always a joy to hear, especially since the board games, which is kinda nice. After that long exposition dump, Film Brain comes in the room and wants to join the hero side, because M. Bison Critic shot Santa Christ. Well, I've imagined a lot of M. Bison jokes, and I haven't used the infamous clip, so here it is.
Of course!
So now it's time to take down the M. Bison Critic, who is just casually walking. Well, I hope you guys like this annoying voice that Karo does for some reason.
Excellent shot, Mr. Joe! Except for the fact that you missed. Fire again!
I get it, he's doing a sergeant voice. He sounds like he has a cold or losing his voice. Now, the kick-ass of M. Bison Critic begins, where the dude becomes real, gets hit in the balls. And then the M. Bison Critic gets cornered because he just won against a bunch of other critics. Oh yeah, Spoonie Cinema Stopper here. Also, yippee, more long drawn-out scene. And this.
Hold it!
What do you want?
Oh, nothing. Just wanted to make my cameo. Bye.
And then they defeat the M. Bison Critic. And oh no! Nostalgia Chick has been the evil mastermind this entire time! And then everyone just steals her fucking hat.
It was my insight that overthrew this government, so I think that it should be I taking over as acting president.
Bad news, I'm afraid. Since I was the one who orchestrated this operation, it is obviously I who should be president.
I did not put on this folksy crap for 4 years waiting for him to...
After everyone fights for a fucking hat, Antichrist reappears in the movie, and Mr. Film Brain is happy, yippee, and then he convinces everyone, hey, why the fuck are you taking over this completely brand new town? Just be internet critics like how you always were. Oh no, the nostalgia critic put loads of TNT that just magically just now in the plot. Cinema Snob cut, which is just... yeah, where did this plot point even come from? When was there ever a mention of TNT? But Film Brain was eventually proven right, because the bomb doesn't go off. After getting his ass beaten, M. Bison Creek decides to return the land with a super epic ending speech and all that stuff, and the movie ends. I guess someone had to remember, so I guess someone didn't have to. That was KICKASSIA, a very heavy mixed bag. I'm gonna start with the negatives since we can end this on a positive note. Film just loves to fucking drag on and on. There are many scenes in this movie which could have been trimmed down a bit or just cut out entirely. Well, I'm not gonna blame Doug at the time for something like this. This was his first actual movie. It clearly should have gotten a lot more work behind it. There's also way too many characters. It's not saying you can't make a story of a lot of characters. It's just here, like, half of them don't even do anything. It's not helping by the fact that who the hell are any of these people? Yeah, sure, there's people like Lakara, Nostalgia Critic, Ben DeSage, Film Brain, Angry Joe, and Cinema Snob. That's because A, they either do something in the movie, or two, you recognize them. Camera quality is also kinda shit. It's not an awful problem, but it's just kind of noticeable. Saying this though, there is still good in this movie. Like, there's some jokes that actually land, for shit like this, which is really fucking funny. Also, the idea is actually pretty interesting. I think they executed well. I don't think I really can call any other stories where you can steal land and you have to be taken out. Saying this though, it's probably the best of the Nostalgia Critic movies. I'll cover the other two, maybe some other day. And you know what, it's still better than whatever slop I'm seeing nowadays from YouTube.
But on top of that, as you might have guessed, if you look through the reasons you should work with this company, Reflector, number 7, diversity, inclusion, and respect. Collective success means everyone feels included and respected. Our employees hail not just from Montreal, Quebec, or Canada, but all over the world, bringing a wealth of perspectives and cultures to the table. We value creating an inclusive workplace that adds to much needed diversity in video games, one where everyone has the space to put themselves forward authentically. Yes, they are definitely a company that is focusing heavily on DEI, and that should not be surprising whatsoever.
I mean, like, yeah, there's something wrong with it. What's the problem, Revy?
Justice will be served. But first, I must quickly tell y'all that...
Yeah, rest getting boring. Time to rev it up. I'm a G, yes, yo, I can get enough.